Yeah, bro. That lady scared me every time. Fuck the bullshit. Not no, every time because it's like you got to just understand you are being monitored. That's basically
It
what it's
feels
saying.
like it's the I don't know if you've seen 1984, the movie they did for it. There's a point where he gets up out of bed and he has to do like morning exercises with the telescreen, and she's demanding and all that. She sounds almost identical to that to that recording in progress lady.
Yeah, it's it's funny. Speaking of 1984, a little bit different, but I was watching Minority Report with Tom Cruise or whatever the other day. That movie was tripping too, bro. Because I'm like, to think, which is kind of how it is now. Like it just isn't exactly like when you walk in the store, the cameras are checking your face and all that, and checking your eyes and stuff. But at the same time, it's not necessarily sending like immediate. Well, I'm assuming it's not sending immediate like ads to your phone and stuff like that. Which it could be though. If your IP address walking to a certain store, you never know. Though that store could have something within it, whether it has Wi-Fi, whatever, just whatever device it uses to send your phone little ads. You never know, bro. But that's that.
And
It's just, yeah, man.
I also think like I also well I think I know that like surveillance depends on where like it is, and it depends on like the quality of what it is. Like case in point, we had somebody vandalize the Pride crosswalk not far down my road here. Actually, I can see it from my house.
Okay.
Somebody like spray painted or whatever, just because people got to be like that. Um,
Yeah,
there's a camera there, and it caught the people on camera. Now that was 4 months ago. They still haven't identified those people.
I feel
So
you.
there you go. Like it depends on where you are. Like if it's like a government building or something like that, yeah, it's going to be like crazy high tech, like
Yeah,
data
they're gonna
detectors
find
and
some
everything
other.
with it. But if it's just like run of the mill secure, they're barely going to be able to pick up unless it's like a 720 180p camera. It's barely going to be able to pick up anything. We had a conversation when I was working with scumbag landlord that I was. We had a guy breaking in. We were like, "Well, we get a video camera in here so we could like record it and whatnot." And the cop told us himself, if it's 480p or below, may as well not even bother
Yeah,
because you can't
that's not.
see shit.
Yeah,
So
it is
unless it's
about the
like a
quality. Yeah,
like, yeah, it has to be like a super good quality camera, and even then, unless like it's hard to detect people, like especially masks and like all that, unless it's like once again like a super high surveillance place. And if it's not that, then the reality of the situation is you're pretty much set unless they, oh, I recognize that, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Something
mhm.
like discerning like that. Like
And as wild
it's
as it
kind
is,
of
though.
crazy. It's kind of crazy, like how like yes, it is like something that we have like something that a fear to be drilled into us, but also at the same time, like once you know stuff like that, it kind of deflates a little bit of that fear. Like it just kind of like, huh, if it's that good a surveillance, then what? Like if it's you know what I mean? Like if
Bro, at the
that,
same
for
time,
example,
there's a couple of like companies now, Trent, that have relatively good quality like surveillance cameras though. And I'm talking about the ones that you would get off of like what like not like what are those like Shopify or whatever, like those random
yeah,
websites or whatever where people are selling shit. You can get like certain 1080p, like whether it's on your front door, you have it. It's the trick is to put it in a place obviously where no one can get to it, so they can't try to like rip it down and you can get to see them clearly. But the way I'm looking at it, bro, as far as like your security, especially like if, for example, like someone like me, like I live in an apartment or whatever, it's like having some security. Like I might not necessarily put a camera in front of my door because I would assume there's a couple of cameras down. Well, not assume there's a couple of cameras downstairs in the
yeah.
lobby and such, right? But like as far as personal security, if you have to have something to protect yourself, that is what it is. Or if you have to have one of those door jams, like those door jams, it's like a steel bar with like the rubber like thing at the bottom where you put under,
Yep.
basically put under your door handle and like slide it in so that it's secure. Yeah, man, it's just like some case a motherfucker picks your lock. They're not gonna just be able to just smash in because that door jam will hopefully do its job. But I don't know. I feel like whether you're looking at it from a sense of surveillance or like the government or whoever's like, because it's like you walk into any store, they have cameras, right? And like you said, they might be some cheaper quality, lower quality cameras, but granted, they are the good ones. You're saying to yourself, okay, I'm constantly being like watched and recorded and stuff. But then if you were to walk in that same store with your phone on selfie mode, recording like a video of yourself, hey, I'm in the Apple store, da 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 da, and then, sir, can you please stop doing that? We don't want anyone recording in the store. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what y'all can record me, but I can't record me. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just a different approach, man.
It's
Like,
also like a deterrence too. Like it's a psychological thing. People, if they know they're being watched, they're less likely to steal, less likely to, fuck around, do like mess with things or do anything like that. So that's half of it right there, is just having the cop inside your own brain sort of thing.
yeah, that natural, in a sense, that natural deterrent as well. Because beyond, if you think that the cameras are there, they might have some people who are just what do they call them? Like not like an undercover, but in a sense, like they pretend like they're a shopper, but they're really like a cop type shit. They have some of those types of people inside stores, malls too, right?
Yeah, I've seen
And
some of them before. I've been stalked by some of those people before.
I mean, hey, bro, that's the thing. We get profiled, and that's the thing that's kind of shitty about it. But we got to remember at the same time, man, like if certain people are doing their jobs correctly and not abusing their power, certain things can work certain things can work to a degree. But obviously, if there's just people out here being cowboys and whatnot, and they have the power to do whatever, obviously, only unfortunate things are going to happen from there.
That's true. Like it's just people going into business for themselves, as they say in the wrestling world, like going off script and doing whatever they want without like cooperation with their opponent and or the people they're working with, right? It's the same basic principle.
Yeah, man. And it's like when we're out for self, like I don't know. Like we come into this earth more or less alone. We leave this earth more or less alone. But in the middle, if it's all about self, I'm not sure, like just from my opinion, I'm not sure if it's gonna be the most fulfilling experience, man. Like you can't, like, not can't, it's sometimes life throws things at us that unfortunately we can't do alone. Like we can't overcome alone. So we sometimes turn to our friends, family, whatever the case is. Having a mentality where you're like, yo, I'm gonna do it all, it's all on me, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna mess around and face some serious shit, and people might not even want to assist you because you've been so like you've shut them out for so long, so to speak. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
it's it's something. It's one of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's one thing we need is like sociability. Like I think, anyways. Don't quote me on that. I just talking shit out of as soon as that came out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm not sure if that's on there or not.
Yeah, bro.
But
Hey, and anything we say, though, just fact check it. To the people listening, anything we say, just take your time and fact check it, bro. Like we ain't acting. If ever you seen the podcast Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz, bro, it's a similar vibe over here. Yeah, we might drop some knowledge, but just double check that shit, bro. Like, because it's not that we don't know what we're saying, but we just might be off by a little bit. Still fact check it, and you'll get the real gem. We just want to spark that idea. Like, hopefully, you go out and research and find some shit that's dope and something
yes,
that
it
can
is.
hopefully move forward. Okay, there you go. There you go.
Fucking anthropology is still in my head, even from high school. What?
That's what it is, bro. Hey,
Anyways, it's part of that. It's like the connection, like a connection, like friends and like close like relations with people. It was also actually, it kind of comes into what I was learning the other day during my one seminar. It's all about forming like deep relations with not just like yourself and whatever, but like the people you like live around, like your community, your building, like wherever. It's about knowing those people and like not necessarily being friends with them or being friendly with them, but like, making sure, everyone's on the same page when it comes to like
having like an
safe.
acquaintance kind of.
Yeah. But like everyone's on the same page when it comes to like safety and whatever else. And like, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. Like that was more specifically to what I was doing in that was learning in that seminar, but like
Like how to
but
have
like,
deeper connections.
yeah, just basically deeper relations with not just like not just like I'm saying, not just like our friends and like our loved ones and stuff like that, but the people like inner neighborhood and stuff like that. And
Yeah, because you might see somebody.
it's hard.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you're right. It is hard. It's hard to connect with certain individuals, even though you might see these people like you don't know them obviously. But for example, like I'm relatively new in this building. I be seeing a few people relatively frequent, whether it's on the elevator, we cross paths, whatever. And you might want to say, "Hey, how you doing, man?" Or "Hey, how you doing?" Da, 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 if you're talking to them, and it's like, but at the same time, you say to yourself, I don't want to impose on these people's space or time or whatever. And then they be like, I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. And then you get rejected. So you just say to yourself, it's cool. Maybe I'll just keep what I was going to say to myself. And I don't know. I feel like in a real way, like even if it's not directly your neighborhood, just when you're out and about, because for example, I live in Toronto and it's a big ass city. And it's like, I might be in the East End or the West End or whatever. And it's like, you got to be able to, if you see certain people who you might vibe with or whatever, you got to be able to have a conversation. Otherwise, it's like you'll forever be a stranger everywhere. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I hear what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Like, that's kind of how I lived in the places I lived in Waterloo and whatnot. Like, that's exactly how I lived. Like, I knew like the people I lived with, but even then I didn't like really want to form relations with them. Like, and then anybody else in my building, I don't fucking know you. I didn't even know you lived in this building. I kind of like, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
especially like even within school, like I didn't like there's not a lot of people outside of like the few people I did meet at the time, like and like you and a few other people, but outside of that, like
it wasn't
people
even at
actually get,
school.
but
It
you
was,
know,
it
but
was,
like
but
people
that's
in
no, that's the
classes,
beauty of it. Like not even
yeah,
really in class, so to you know.
but even like people in classes and stuff like that, I had bonds with them for like about that class. And that was it. It would stop
Yeah,
after that class. It would be let's go get a drink or let's go hang out after this or whatever. Nope, done with that class.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely who I was at that time, and just not being properly socialized and not having that. I don't know. I don't know. Just not having what I
Those
have
were,
now.
yeah. I mean, but bro, that is good. Like whether you're talking about your mentality, the way you view life, your perspective, wanting to be a bit more open, like that's it's crazy as it is, bro. Because I'm telling you, even like whether you're like when it comes to me, because for example, I'm a single man right now currently, right? And I might be trying to talk to a woman, and it's like it's different because in speaking on those relations that you were referring to earlier, you might want to be transparent or give a little bit about yourself to like so that this woman knows, hey, if I'm going to engage and have a conversation with this man's being honest, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you choose not to be transparent and you choose to be like standoffish or, you know what I mean, just kind of closed in, you're not going to get far with an individual. So it's like trying to find that right balance, like that give and take as far as forming these relations, whether it's with a woman you might be interested in or just a random person who you see kind of around your neighborhood, like you were saying earlier. Trying to find that balance, I think most people have a hard time doing. Shit, most people don't even know themselves, Trent. So it's like, let alone trying to build relations with quote unquote strangers or get to know them, right?
Yep. And as I say that, like I'm in a mood right now where I don't want to talk to anybody else right now. I just want to be at home because I've been at work all day dealing with customers and whatever else. So like this is where I want to be right now, just sitting here with the cat, no, but like not dealing with anybody else, listen to music and whatnot. Like
Just chilling,
so
chilling.
I say that, and here I am. You know what I mean? So it's
Oh, like
like it's a good thing to have these ideas, but it's another thing to put these ideas into practice. And that's the trick I found or I find like right now, especially with a lot of these things like this we're talking about. Like it's one thing to work on yourself and to get to know yourself, like we have been talking about. It's another thing to try and like bridge out and try to be like, friends. We're not so much friends, but like create deeper relations with other people. It's like it's time consuming and it's not going to happen like your first interaction with somebody, but like,
yeah,
you know
but
what I
it's
mean?
cool. But it is cool when within that first interaction, you kind of get to have a little bit of a gauge. Like, wait a minute, if this person is being real right now while we're talking, this person can fuck around and be a cool person in my life or a big part of my life or a small part of my or whatever. Like, but I think I could keep vibing with this person is what one might initially think when they get that impression. But it's like,
why we're still talking.
but it's like you think about it, Trent, and it's like beyond building a friendship or a brotherhood or whatever the case is, or even like a relationship, you get your girlfriend or whatever, or you get a wife or whatever the case is. It's like you think to yourself, okay, if people aren't afraid to be transparent and be themselves and say, hey man, I'm flawed, I'm working on this, and this, you know how much further we can move, not even on some just, oh, it's a society, but it's like just within our everyday, like, because each home, like granted, each person in the home is doing that with each other and being transparent, honest, moving forward, et cetera, et cetera. Each person in that ecosystem is going to start fucking getting better, like everything's going to start moving forward, pushing towards a better place. And it's not about being perfect, but I'm saying identifying that shit. Oh, like self-awareness, like how I was saying, most people don't really know themselves. That building that self-awareness, having that shit extend to the people around you, building those relations. And then eventually it's like, all right, now me and my family are we're moving forward and we're able to do this because we're able to identify what we need to change and fucking move forward with that shit.
Man,
I don't know. I'm just expressing the fact that the easier it is for us to identify these things within ourselves, I think the easier it'll be for us to build relations with our family members first and foremost, and then the extended random people we see outside, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It starts with us, and then from there, it's the closest to our hearts and whatnot, and then from there, it's everyone else. That's how it should be. And to quote Great Big Sea, the closest to our hearts so rarely get the best of us, but I try not to live like that these days.
Hey, bro, it's good. It's good. Like, trying not to hold on to everything, like have everything be like so quote unquote deep or whatever. I'm trying to let things roll off the shoulder. But on another note, bro, I was watching this podcast earlier and like my man was just dropping gems and like just on some different type of vibe where it's like it might be cliche where people will say like, yo, you got to do this, you got to do that, blah, blah, blah. And like, you might think to yourself like, yo, these guys are gurus and they're self-help and this, that, and the third. But this guy was saying like just the most simple shit, just getting straight to the point. Hey, when you wake up, get a whole bunch of water in your system. Like, and it might sound crazy, but it's like get a whole bunch of water in your system. Make sure you have a bowel movement before you actually start eating food, so that you at least know that you passed whatever was in your body beforehand. And that's how you can have a cleaner system before you start your day or whatever. Little shit like that where you're saying to yourself, that sounds like common sense, but how many people do that shit? Most people, they get up, they might fucking eat all types of food and just go crazy and shit and not even have had any water or any type of, you know what I mean? But he was also saying like he was just implementing different like strategies and rituals, so to speak, so that when you get up in the morning and you go through your certain rituals, not to use rituals as a word, but regiment, your certain like motives and shit. When you go through everything that you're supposed to throughout the day, your routine, yeah. Like I'd say regiment, like and stuff like that, because even routine kind of gives the connotation or whatever that it's the same like every day. But he was saying like have it be like it is the same, but you're making variations of your same thing. He was saying like if you have a good ass day, try to pay attention to what you did that day, the way you were feeling when you were going through certain motions. Because when you have like a bad day, you fuck around and remember those types of like thoughts of when you were having a good day and what made you feel good. And hopefully that will in time snap you out of that bad day mood and get you back fighting and get you back going, get you back recharged. So he was just dropping little gems like that. And I'm saying to myself, this guy's super smart, but it's little things like that, man. Like making small changes, and each day you make a small change like that. Like, okay, I'm working out every day for 30 minutes. Right when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna get a glass of water and then I'm gonna get to my 30-minute workout. After that 30-minute workout, I'm gonna stretch for 15. And you actually stick with it. I'm gonna eat this. I'm adding more greens and then you start adding more greens and then you start tripping. Next thing you know, you're a completely different person. your skin's clearing up, your muscle mass is fucking sitting on you healthy and shit. Like just your blood, your heart rate is in a way better place. All that type of shit, bro. He was just saying, just build a regiment around that type of shit.
That's fucking like actually like great advice. Like, especially like you said, drinking the water first thing in the morning. Like that's super important. Like on an empty stomach, drinking water is super like, some people don't like it. And I just say to them, get over yourself, get used to it, because literally it's good. It's so good for you. Like gets everything moving, it gets everything like regulated and whatnot. And like you said, having a shit first thing in the morning too is also really good as well too. Like just cleans everything out, and you feel like you just feel empty and you're ready to go again. Like, oh, now I'm actually hungry. Like I need to eat and have some breakfast and then go about my day or whatever. But like, and then just stuff like that, just little changes, like things like that. And also like taking time to like think about like what made your day good. I've never ever thought about that before. That was literally like an epiphany right there.
Because most people go through the days where they're just like, oh, yo, this is a good day. You go through your day, and at the end of the day, you're laying in your bed. You're like, man, that was a good day. You have your dream. You fucking wake up the next morning, but you don't ever think, okay, when I was going to work, I made everybody who I saw on the street, I made sure I gave them a smile or whatever. Just on some you're retracing your steps, so to speak, and you're like, oh, okay, a lady dropped her purse. I asked her if I could pick it up for her or whatever, because she was elderly. I didn't want her to hurt herself. You just next thing you realize that you're going through doing these small kind of good little deeds or whatever, and it's like it was a combination of things that just added to your quote unquote good day. And then you're saying, okay, there's got to be some type of science to it. Like every action has
an equal and opposite reaction.
Exactly. Reaction. Exactly. And that's why it's like you think to yourself, okay, if I'm going to replicate this process, I got to pinpoint what I was doing. From that point, it's almost like you're kind of tricking the matrix, so to speak, trying to put a glitch in the matrix, so to speak, so that you have more quote unquote good days than bad ones. Yo, man, we got to be like, that's, to the people listening, I hope you taking in what we saying here. This is something I ain't no scientist yet, but I'm a scientist. I ain't in school yet, but I'm dropping knowledge and science and shit. It is what it is. But yeah, man. But you had a 1-2 that you were trying to talk about, just as far as like, I know you were talking about the relations, but what was the other thing? There's like memories. No, we tripping.
That's all I had really was on that, but
okay.
That for another episode.
no, it's all good, man. It's all good. You know, I'm not tripping. I'm just looking at it like shit, man, because it's a good topic to expand on, especially when we're in a time where a lot of people felt like they had to disconnect from, at least physically, from like people who they care about, whatever. But then eventually getting to a point where, okay, we can have a real conversation, whether it's over Zoom or on a phone call or whatever the case is. Like that's dope too. And to people out there, like if you have loved ones and you choose to ghost them, so to speak, like just stop talking to them abruptly, not explaining why, et cetera, et cetera. I understand you might need your time, but people care about you. So try not to just go ghost and just not ever talk to people and because at that point people will be worried about you and they're trying to reach out and you ain't trying to hear it. And it's not even that anything negative happened, like they didn't do anything to you. It's just you just are in a mood. Just that's more what I'm talking about when I say we got to chill as far as trying to be super selfish and all about self. We got to kind of chill because it's like there's other people and like in this. Granted, you have some good people in your life do care about you. Hey, bro, we gotta all be in this together and try to help each other move forward, right? But that was just a little side note because
I could not have said it any better.
Yeah, bro, because shit's real, man. Shit's real, and during these times, like where we want to build, well, we're just kind of talking about building connections, building relations, things of that nature. It's like, yeah, man, try to remain in touch with your people because they need it. They need it, you know.
I agree. I agree. This is of all times to keep connections and like with your loved ones and all that. It's now, and now, like this moment right now, like today, tomorrow, like not tomorrow, today, like sort of thing. Because
Exactly.
tomorrow night may not be there for them or you.
No, and that's real shit. What you said, bro. My mom has like a saying where it's very similar to what you just said, where it's like, but it's like anything that you can accomplish today, don't leave for tomorrow, because it's like you don't know, like, yo, man, it's all good. I'll go get my groceries tomorrow. It's a sunny day today and shit. You wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's raining like a motherfucker. You just like, no, I could have went yesterday and shit when it was sunny. Don't wait, bro. Just whether it's loving your people or getting on your shit and taking your time. And bro, no bullshit. I'm going hard in the paint, bro. I'm on my school, my little school grind or whatever, my little preschool before I actually try to go to school type shit, bro. And it's going pretty good so far. February is when the everything starts up, so to speak. So I'm just kind of seeing what I can do from there type thing.
Well, one day at a time, my friend. You'll get there.
100%. But I don't know if you have anything else that you wanted to touch on, or you just tripping. Oh shoot, just on some, because as right now it's a few days. It's a few days. Oh, what's up? No, you still
No,
want
it's all good. It's all good.
No. We don't gotta stop, bro.
I'm just looking. I was comparing to see if how swollen my hand was to if it was a little bit, not bad.
Okay, I was gonna say, dang, that's unfortunate if your hand's swollen, bro. Yeah, that's rough, man. Hopefully it gets better soon times, man. But
It's fine.
I was just gonna say it's one of those ones where, it it's something that we have to kind of, well, in my opinion, we have to kind of acknowledge where it's like, if I realize if you want something done, bro, like, not a matter of being selfish when I say you have to do it yourself. I mean, you can't wait for anyone to do things for you in this life. So that's where it's like, as Trent was saying a little earlier, like, do it now, like, don't wait for, like, and it's a saying that, like, we got to hold that shit. Like, it's a heavy ass saying, but it's like, we got to hold that shit, because it's like, every time people complain about where they are in life, it's the little choices that we don't make. Because those little choices each day, bro, like, that's how you achieve greatness. Doing a whole bunch of small things daily, and then it adds up at the end of the day. It's like, all right, yo, I'm one step closer to where I got to be. I'm one step closer to fulfilling what I'm actually trying to fulfill. When you don't do it, and then you complain, talking about, oh, I wish when I was this age, I had this. Hey, bro. So it's like, everything's circumstantial, but I'm saying I'm talking about for the choices that we don't make. I'm not talking about if you're raised in a negative situation and shit. I'm talking about for the people who are just procrastinating and shit. We got to be out here, bro, going hard for, like, I don't know. It's crazy as it is. It's just like this whole life thing is wild, bro. So just remember, like, make it all count, bro. Make that dash in the middle count. You know what I mean? Let's get it. You know. I don't know if you got anything else you trying to drop on them. We can wrap up.
You
can
did it
up.
all right there for me, man.
Hey,
I don't
bro.
have anything else to say.
Hey, bro, we tripping, bro? Like, hey, as always, I appreciate my homie rocking with me. My name's Graham.
I'm Trent.
And this is another episode of Ultra Fly Talk, and we really appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know, like, it's a beautiful thing where people can come together and drop gems and just you know, two homies and just speak their mind and shit. But yo, it's another episode. Peace.